Hey everyone, it's Lisa Bongean from Primitive Gatherings, and today we are going to introduce our next weekend quilt. This one is called Wild Honey. The fabric is from Lella Boutique by Moda Fabrics, and the quilt is behind me. Isn't it? It's stunning. So what do we need for Wild Honey? We need a fat quarter bundle of 30 prints, and it is, like I said, Wild Honey. 3 3/4 yards of background fabric, which is the light, and then a 1/2 yard of a print. We picked blue for the binding, and then also 4 1/2 yards for backing. You also, and ask me how I know this, but have enough pink left over to do a pink scrappy binding if you want to go that way, if you don't want to buy a 1/2 yard for binding. We had one all made and then it never got put on the quilt. So I'm just throwing that out there for you because sometimes that happens. All right, so the size of the quilt is 72 by 84, and let's show you how to do the fun block. So the block is actually a 12-inch block, but it is really for 6-inch blocks. All right, so I have done some cutting here prior to what the directions tell me to cut, and basically all you have to do is sew it back together. And one of the tips I can give you is to take your pieces and kind of give them a little finger press. So I'm going to sew these 2 large triangles on first. I'm just pinching them all. You could iron this if you can't see very well, and I'm sure you might not be able to see this when I show you it, but just know that they are in there. So first I'm going to put the sides on, so I crease this in half the long way, and I'm just going to line up these 2 creases. And this block is going to be trimmed down, so it is oversized, so just kind of keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to go over to the machine. So I am using a Bernina straight stitch machine, and I have it like a smidge under 2, and then I have a 1/4 inch foot on that I am using. So I probably can sew both of these on, lining up those 2 creases. You can just get rid of all this. All right, so I'm just going to make a little more room over here. And I'm going to press this away from the center rectangle. You can press them open if you want. These are just big clunky blocks, so I'm not going to take the time to press seams open when I don't think we really need to. So then I am going to make a little crease here the other way now on both sides. And you can eyeball it too. Like I said, we are trimming this down. The hardest part is making sure you got the right side of the fabric, right? So sometimes I gotta double check. A lot of times you can just look to see how far the dog ears hang over to give you a good indication if you got it centered as well. Now you notice I didn't take the time to cut off those large dog ears. You can if you want, but I just choose not to because it's time. It's all about time. I'm going to trim this whole block anyways. And as long as your 1/4 inch foot goes over those things, you're good. All right, back to the iron. All right, I love how this is looking. All right, so here we have our one block all pieced. Now I need to square it up, so you can either use a square ruler, or if you have a ruler that's the same size as what you need, you can do that as well. And you can just kind of just eyeball that center. I'm looking, I got like a 1/4 inch there from that point. And let me just move that one down. Yeah, a little bit. You're going to have a little bit of a float. It's not going to be exact, because I'd rather have a little extra at the point than to cut a point off. So I err on it being a little big. So I'm just going to trim 3 sides around. And if you have a rotating mat, that works for that really well. One little string, and then I can just do this last one here if everything looks good, which it does. I'm just going to trim that. And there you go. So this is 1 of 4 that makes the block, and you're going to have 2 of them that are light cornered, and then 2 of them like this with the dark corners. And that is going to make your one 12.5 inch block that way. All right, so I hope you love this block. It is very simple and definitely can be done in a weekend. We will have kits available for this, as well as patterns and downloadable patterns. So make sure you check our website at primitivegatherings.us for any of the supplies that you will need for this project. All right, that's all I have for you today, and see you next time.